Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're gonna take a look at the upcoming Spring Cup here. The Spring Cup going to be available now for 1 week in the Go Battle League. We're going to have available Fairy type Pokemon, Grass type Pokemon, and Water type Pokemon, as well as Toxapex is going to be banned because it would be just way too broken. Otherwise, we're going to see here the top Pokemon for this meta. We're going to see Ferrothorn very high up there, as well as the Galarian Weezing. Galarian Weezing has access to the move Overheat, which makes it basically, impossible to completely hard counter. Basically, best counters for this Pokemon going to be Water types, because you can only basically hit them with the Brutal Swing, which is not going to do a ton of damage, but still going to hurt quite a bit. Ferrothorn, actually, as you maybe saw the video earlier today, was a very strong pick from my opponents at least. Like, this Pokemon is very bulky, very difficult to take down, having access to the move Flash Cannon, and Power Whip basically hits everything in the meta, so this Pokemon going to be kinda everywhere. Best counters for this, Weezing, not really in my opinion, even because you kinda have to hit the Overheat. If you don't hit the Overheat and you get hit by a Flash Cannon, not the best. But what is also available going to be the Shadow Mawile, which is going to be the best answer for Ferrothorn for sure. Going to be a very fun Pokemon to use in general in this meta again. So definitely expect like some videos about this Pokemon as well. Araquanid, I feel like it's a little bit overrated here. You can use it, of course, to counter some of the grass type Pokemon, but it's all kind of close-ish. While you get walled by Pelipper, while you get walled by Mawile, while you get walled by a ton of other Pokemon. Lantern is available in the meta, you don't do any damage against the Weezing. So I feel like Araquanid might be a little bit overrated here from the meta. Otherwise, you have Ninetales available. You don't really have a lot of anti-meta Pokemon, sadly. You're going to be decent. Actually, interesting to see Celio over Walrein here in this meta, because you just get to the Body Slam a little bit faster. But yeah, otherwise, it's not going to be that crazy in terms of the Pokemon that are going to be available. Electrode going to be also really decent here, the Hisuian Electrode. But like, it goes down pretty fast. There's going to be quite a core meta, which I don't know if you can really break that one. We can now take a look at the best teams for the meta. You're going to see the same Pokemon most likely a lot of time. So yeah, let's go right into the teams. First team here, we're going to have the Galarian Weezing in the lead, as this Pokemon going to be basically very neutral against anything else. We're going to have two different options that you can kind of play this one now. You can have the Abomasnow as a Sasop, and then still going to have the Ferrothorn in the back. Ferrothorn going to be very decent in this meta as well. Or you can use the Spark Lantern there, and either the Ferrothorn, which maybe even be a little bit better, or the Abomasnow in the back. Basically can play out the lead and then just have a very good core matchup in the back there, because you might get some advantages with the lead there, that you can get either shield or the switch advantage, which both would be very decent in this meta. It's going to be kind of an RPS meta, so trying to break up the RPS by having a lead that just plays out the matchup and tries to get an advantage might be the way to go. But otherwise, Grass type is going to be very decent. Ferrothorn is actually kind of, like, I actually didn't expect that it would be that good, but after playing against it quite a bit, it's definitely a very strong Pokemon for the meta. Let's go into the next team. Next up going to be a team around Shadow Mawile. This Pokemon going to be very interesting, as you're going to be able to counter, at least after 2 shield scenario, I guess, the Galarian Weezing, as well as you're going to be able to counter most of the Grass type Pokemon. I've seen a lot of Grass type Pokemon in the lead, so it should be definitely something that you can try out here in the lead especially. But what you can do here is use the Sasop of the Hisuian Electrode. There's not a lot that really wants to come in against this Pokemon. One issue is for this Pokemon though, that even something like a Tentacruel will be able to win this matchup against this. It's an electric type against a water type, but still you're going to have the poison typing, which just does so much damage with the poison jab that this Pokemon is kinda just there for getting shields. I don't think you're going to get switch advantage too often with this, but if you get shields, it should be also fine. We have to have basically a grass type in the back that's going to be able to beat the water types, as well as going to be able to beat those poison types, which is going to be, of course, our Ferrothorn in the back here. You will not encounter a lot of fire types in this meta other than Mawile, but of course Mawile itself would be kinda an issue for this team, so it's a little bit tricky to play around the Mawile itself, but still should be a decent team here. Next team here going to be around the Tentacruel. Tentacruel going to be the best closer most likely for this meta. You can use either the Trevenant or the Ferrothorn in the lead. Both of them are fine. I think maybe Trevenant might be a little bit better, because you're better off against other Ferrothorns. Sasop here, the Quillfish. Quillfish going to have access to the move Poison Sting, going to generate a lot of energy. It's kind of debatable if you want to have Sludge Wave or the Ice Beam. I guess Sludge Wave might be the better play for this Pokemon. Awkward here, of course, is an insanely good bait move together with the Poison Sting. This Pokemon just does so much damage. It's going to be a very good Sasop for this meta, and keep your shields for the Tentacruel, because nothing can really take Acid Spray into shields in this meta. Like, literally, there are only like 2 or 3 Pokemon that can do this. One of them is Ferrothorn, And another one would be Lantern, which you can try to bait out with this team and try to beat with the lead here anyway. So yeah, this team going to be very, very strong. In general, Tentacruel going to be some Pokemon that you really have to be careful with, because Pokemon going to run through your team most likely. The next team you're going to be basically the same team, but reversed, because you can play it exactly the other way around as well. This might give you some trouble against a lot, if you like see a lot of flying type Pokemon like Pelipper as well as Mantine going to be available. We have some teams with them as well later. But here you're going to have the Tentacool in the lead, which is going to be a very decent lead against a lot of Pokemon. You can swap in your Ferrothorn, the Trevenant here. Trevenant basically does not really have a hard answer. There are not really any dark types available that are really strong, I feel like. There are not really a lot of normal types available that are really strong, so you can't really defensively counter it. You mainly can offensively counter it with like something like a Mawile or something like a Pelipper with a wing attack, but still you're going to hurt them quite a bit. So yeah, this team definitely going to also appear quite often. It's kind of an RPS meta, so like you're going to see most likely a lot of times the same teams and the same Pokemon. There's not always something that can break through that though, sadly. Next team here going to be similar to the team that you already saw in the video earlier today. You have the Lantern in the lead, and we're going to have some Pokemon that you can have in the back there as well that would work pretty well together with them. We're going to have the Sasop of either the Pelipper, Mantine, or the Weezing. All of them should work kind of the same. If you use the Weezing, you can also use the Mawile in the back, and you have a double fire coverage, which I think going to be kind of crucial in this cup. But you can also use the Mawile together with the Pelipper as a Sasop or the Mantine as a Sasop. Mantine might actually be better than Pelipper here. It's kind of underrated. This Pokemon has a lot of potential now with Wing Attack because of the insane bulk that this Pokemon has. It's the same bulk as a Skarmory, and it's a little bit better than the Pelipper because of that. Ice Beam helps it quite a bit against Grass-type Pokemon, as well as you're going to be able to beat Pelippers as well because you just have more bulk than them. So yeah, that's going to be it for this team. Basically two teams in one, because you can play them pretty differently here. Depends on what you really want to run. You can use an ABB line, you can use double fire in the back, you can use just Pelipper and the Mawile in the back, which would make it like more like an ABC line. Definitely a lot of variations here, but yeah, let's go to the next team. Very similar to the team before as well. You can use a different lead there. You can have the either the Trevenant or the Ferrothorn there in the lead. Of course, both of them basically the best two grass-type Pokemon in this meta. Both of them going to definitely benefit of having some water-type coverage there in back. If you face something like a Mawile in the lead, you're going to have two answers for that. Sasop, of course, going to be here the Mantine. Even if you fail getting back switch advantage with this Pokemon, you can debuff the opponent with the move Bubble Beam, which is going to be very decent. And this can actually flip a lot of matchups in a two-shield scenario. In the end, you can try to sweep with Pelipper. But again, as said already before, you're going to encounter a lot of times the same Pokemon in this meta. It's a very small meta. I wish there was maybe like one or two more types added to the meta, which would make it a little bit more complex. Right now, it feels like it's all like about water and yeah, those grass-type Pokemon, especially after Charm got nerfed. It's not really that effective anymore. So wonder if we even see that many Fairy-type Pokemon in this meta. Very unlikely, other than, of course, the Galarian Weezing. And again, a different team with basically the same kind of style here. We're going to have the Pelipper or the the Mantine in the lead there. Both of them pretty similar roles in this meta again. We have the Sasop of the Ferrothorn trying to bait out anything, because like Ferrothorn is going to be a very good Sasop in this meta. Definitely doesn't really have big answers. Think you're going to lose all the time, of course, against the potential Galarian Weezing, but they still have to fear your Shadow Ball, so going to be still fine there. And then in the back you can have either the Galarian Weezing or the Ferrothorn. So yeah, this is going to be it basically for this cup. My opinion is it's going to be kinda RPS. I don't think it's going to be the greatest cup ever, but still going to be interesting how it's all going to turn out. We don't really know about it. I have a few core breakers in mind that I'm mostly going to showcase on my channel, so if you're interested in this one, definitely leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you later for another video for this cup. Bye bye.